Have you ever heard this is the only way to exercise? This can easily make you discouraged if your body moves differently. Well, our next guest is changing all of that. Joining me now is certified personal trainer and corrective exercise specialist from Barbell Blondie Athletics, Natalie Carey. Natalie, thank you for joining me on Live in the Bay.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It is so awesome to have you here in studio. Now, with so many physical trainers out there, what sets you apart and makes your approach so unique?
What I do is I work a lot with people who have chronic pain or injuries, and it's difficult for them to exercise, and so we find different ways to approach the movement, and we make adjustments to it so that it's accessible to them. And then I also work a lot with people who are in larger bodies or who identify as fat. Fat bodies move differently than thin bodies, and so we find ways to make movement work for them.
That's so cool that you're taking a unique approach to fitness. Why was that important to you to try something different for people out there?
I grew up as a ballerina, and so the message was always, yes, I still dance to this day. The message was always thinness is valued above all else. And so a few years ago, I had a really severe injury to my hip and realized that exercise is a gift. And I just ended up coming into this body positive community and meeting all these people who I realized wanted to participate in exercise but had been excluded from it. And so I was really excited to share my love of exercise with them and find ways that they could move so that they could feel welcome and included in fitness.
Which is such an incredible thing that you're doing. I think body positivity, we need more of that, especially in the fitness industry, like you said, where for some reason we seem to celebrate skinny, which all bodies need to be celebrated. So that's awesome what you're doing in that space. Now, corrective specialist, what does that mean when it comes to form and exercising? Yeah,
so corrective exercise is what we do as personal trainers when we first meet with a client is we take a look at how their bodies move, and usually somebody leans to one side in a squat, or one side of their body moves in a different way than the other side. And so we take a look at that movement and we say, okay, that tells me that this muscle is working too hard and this muscle isn't working hard enough, and I'm going to create a workout program for you to balance them out, to make them work equally.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, let's actually dive into a couple of these exercises that you have set apart for us. Now, you have one way to do it and then an alternative, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll let you take the reins.
Okay. So if you want, you can come onto the mat. We're going to do a reverse lunge. So for a lot of people, reverse lunges are very difficult because they have knee pain. And so let's do a couple of regular reverse lunges. We'll put our hands on our hips. Okay. We'll step back and go into a deep lunge. Left foot goes back, bend your knee, come back up to standing, and then right knee goes back, come back up to standing. So if you have knee pain, that can be really hard on your knees.
Yes.
Instead, we're gonna make it into a staggered stance. So you just step back with one foot and just bend the left knee a little bit. That's all it is. Good. And then you come back to standing. Perfect. Right leg goes back. Staggered stance, small bend, and then come back to standing. So why don't we do a few of those? If you can do 4 reverse lunges with the full range of motion, and I'll do 4 with the smaller range of motion.
Awesome. And then with these lunges, with the alternative one that you're doing here, I'm doing 4 on each leg and then I'm switching. Maybe I should alternate like you.
That's fine. You do whatever you'd like.
But when it comes to the alternative way to do it, people are still getting the same kind of results, correct?
Right. So we are finding a way for them to move through an exercise in a way that's tolerable to their joints and doesn't increase their pain. We want to make sure that they can move without pain.
Awesome. Okay, pain-free is the way to go, I'm sure, for everybody when it comes to exercising. Now, what is another move that we could try?
The other one that I have for you today is a burpee. Ooh. And so many people dislike burpees. I happen to love them. So I'm just gonna ask you to do just one with me, and then I will show you the modification.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna jump up for starters. So we jump, we land in a squat, hands down on the floor, come out into a plank, hop back up. Oops, she did a push-up and I forgot. Olivia's training me today, and then we finish with a hop.
Amazing. Okay, so what is the alternative?
So the alternative, because jumping can be hard on people's joints. Yes. Doing a push-up is not possible for every single person. So I'll have them use a chair or a couch or a bench. I'll have them come up into a calf raise, plant their hands on the side, walk their feet out. You can do a plank or a push-up here, and then walk your feet back in to a calf raise. So you get to do the modified version because I'm nice, and I'll do the burpee on the mat.
I love it that you're nice. Thank you for taking it easy on me today. So it's...
All right, so you're gonna do your calf raise up, right? And then you place your hands down, ready for your plank. Walk your feet out. You can hold the plank or you can do a push-up. Then walk your feet back in. And we finish with a calf raise or a jump.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like that modified one. As a matter of fact,
great.
I might be using this one in the gym.
You know, so many people use the burpee that I have created with the modification instead of the traditional burpee, and I'm like, well, it works. It worked for you.
It really does work. Okay, we're gonna get one more exercise in before we let you go. What's your last one?
I'm gonna have you do a cat-cow. So come on down to the mat.
Okay.
In a quadruped, so hands underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. Good, and then I'm gonna have you round your back, tuck your head under. Good, and then you're gonna extend your back and gently look up towards the ceiling. Great, so this is a cat-cow, but with your wrists down here and your knees on the floor, that can be an uncomfortable position for a lot of people. So you can stay down here. What I'll have people do for a modification is stay standing, hands on their knees, round their spine here, and then extend their back. So you and I can do a couple of these together. So Olivia, you're doing a traditional cat-cow, and I'm just doing a modified version.
This is the original one.
Yep, which allows people to stay standing and off of the floor and still get that spinal mobility.
So what do you want people to know about modified exercising?
I want people to know that modifying an exercise is admirable. It's just as valuable as doing the traditional exercise. There's a school of thought in our fitness industry that there's one right way to do an exercise. And I say if we can find a different way that helps more people access exercise, then there's a lot of right ways to do it.
I completely agree with you. And what you're doing in the physical fitness industry, it's so awesome. So keep doing it. The body positivity, that's what's up. So many people need that kind of encouragement out there. So thank you, Natalie, for joining us here on Live in the Bay. It was awesome getting to know some of these modified exercises.
Thank you so much, Olivia.
Of course, to learn more or a link to join Natalie for one of her classes, we'll have a link on our website at liveinthebay.tv.